So, way back in March, BC, before coronavirus, I finished this book called People of the Book by Geraldine Brooks. Um, Keep in mind that I was not well at the time, and so um, I mean, it got read in bits and starts, and um, yeah. So, and I wasn't my best self, so maybe my review might, if parts of it are a bit crotchety, maybe that's why. I don't know. I actually really enjoyed the book, so it shouldn't be crotchety. Um, for me personally, I am not someone who really enjoys fiction. Well, this isn't really fiction. It's fiction based on true events, I guess. So, but I'm not someone who generally enjoys fiction set in the present day. I don't like reading novels that happen in the present day and stuff like that. I'm not interested just because I'm living now in the present day. So I don't know. I don't like it. I find it awkward to read about. So this story is about a book. It's about a religious text um, that is discovered in Sarajevo. Yeah. It's discovered in Sarajevo during the Bosnian War, and then it goes through the history of that particular text, and it tells the story of the story of that text throughout history. And so it begins in the present time, and then it like flashes back because okay, so the main character of the story is I don't know what the word is, if there is a technical like word for the profession, but anyway, it's the main character in the book is someone who basically uses forensic science to learn about the history of books. So, not like criminal forensics, obviously, but like just uses uh, things like dating, carbon dating, maybe, or stuff like that. So there's all kinds of clues that you can get about the history of a book from its pages. So, for instance, there in this book, there's an insect wing fragment that's found. There's wine stains, salt crystals, and a white hair. And so she uses all those things to discover the story about this book. And so those stories get fleshed out in kind of these individual vignettes, and I really loved those stories. Those stories really made this book for me. The stuff set in the modern times, I didn't really enjoy it very much. I really related to the main character. I didn't like her. Okay, I just want to say straight up, I did not like the main character. But I think maybe I didn't like her because she was too much like me. Maybe. Like, there was a whole section in here, kind of at the beginning, where she describes an affair that she had, and I was just like, oh yeah, yeah, that could have been me saying all those things. But I didn't like her. So, and I think sometimes we're just like that, right? Like, we just don't necessarily care for people who are just too much like ourselves. So, anyway, but those other vignettes about the history of the book were really fascinating to me. It was well written. Like, it wasn't like I didn't enjoy the book because the writing was terrible or anything like that. It's just a personal preference that I have. So overall, I gave this book 3.5 cups of tea. Happy reading.